Freediving is different for many people. For some people, it's about competition. It's about seeing how deep they can go, competing either with themselves. For some people, it's about competing with other people, people trying to get national records, world records. I know a few people like this. For a lot of people, it's about spearfishing. They want to go down and stay down longer so they can get their fish. For me, and the emphasis that I put, it's more about discovering a little bit about your own mind and physiology and the link between the two. It's about going in and finding the sensations that we associate with survival and learning how to observe those without reacting to them. It's a kind of meditation, and that's what I teach. But if someone wants to compete or spearfish, this is going to help be a good place for them to start. It's diving. I would say scuba diving is free diving with breathing apparatus on your back. They're very different sports. There's overlap because they're both in the sea. We're both using masks. We're both using fins. But free diving is the original sport. It's pure and it's more natural. Utila is an interesting place. It's a unique Caribbean experience. Most of the time when people think about the Caribbean, they think about beautiful beaches and luxury resorts, and that's nice, but that's not what Utila is. Utila is still very much in control and run by the local people here, which I love. We don't have, the best beaches in the world. We have we don't have huge resorts and hotels, but that's what I think people love about it. It's a little bit funkier than some other parts of the Caribbean. A unique experience. Well, I'd lived on Utila for 4 years. I'd run a couple of dive shops here, and there was nobody doing it. So I realized there were places where we could get the depth and we could get the calm conditions on the sea, which you need for the sport. And there wasn't anybody doing it, so I knew the island. So I came back here and that's made a go of it, and so far it's been working. The maximum depths that some of the elite freedivers like William Trubridge and Alex Molchanov are hitting are crazy. They're 120 meters, more than 400 feet, and these are self-powered dives. Some of the guys that are using weights to get down, no limits and variable weights, are going much deeper than that, even up to 200 meters. There was an aura created around the sport that it was dangerous, and for a long time that was created by freedivers themselves because they wanted people to think they were doing something really crazy and dangerous. But it's not. It's a very safe sport if it's done properly. We have to address the risks because there are some risks, but once you teach them, once you learn the sport properly and you address these risks, you can minimize them, and if they happen, you know how to act. I think it's very important to note that nobody has ever died in an organized competition in this sport. So it's not as dangerous as people think. Biggest danger in freediving it has to do with hypoxia. Hypoxia means not enough oxygen. So not enough oxygen is getting to the brain because the breath hold was too long or the dive was too deep. And the diver will lose consciousness, or sometimes they'll have what we call a samba, a loss of motor control. And in those situations, the diver must have assistance from another diver. That's why we never ever dive alone. The most important thing you get out of any freediving course is you can't do it by yourself. But we can minimize these risks if we do it properly and we relax. I was a scuba instructor for about 8 years, I guess, until I got into freediving. I went to Koh Tao, and I had some friends who were doing the course, and I just did it sort of out of curiosity, and I instantly hooked. Utila is one of the busiest islands in the world for scuba intro level certifications. So that's also good for me in terms of a lot of those people who are interested in diving become interested in freediving. It's kind of, some people would say it's exploding. It's in places where there's a lot of diving, more and more freediving schools are popping up. It's becoming much more popular. it's losing that sort of aura of being death-defying and dangerous. People are understanding that it's not dangerous and it's not difficult either.